Good Woch, everyone. Today we're learning about Mציעא Daf Kuf Ches. We're going to start from Omar Rav Yehuda, about 10 lines down. Omar Rav Yehuda, Akol le'iglei gafa. That means everyone need to pay for and help to build the walls of the city, that our enemies shouldn't come into town. Vafilu miyatmi, even from Yisoimim, you take money for that. From orphans. Rabbanon don't need to help or pay for protecting the city, to put up walls. My time. Rabbanon don't need guarding. Rashi explains, Terosoi mishamorosoi. It says, B'shach b'chot yishmer olecha. Hashem will protect someone who learns Torah. The carrier, the patia, to dig to wells, Afilu Rabbanon, even Talmidei Chacham have to help physically, or no, we're going to see a second about physically, they need to pay money towards that. And because they also need to drink. On this, that they have to help for wells, when they're paying a company to go and dig wells, they also have to pay. But that means B'chluza means to actually go and dig. So when they're not going and actually digging, they're paying someone to do it. Aval Uchluza, to actually go and dig, the Rabbanon don't need to help. The Rabbanon love nefek b'chluzin. It's not accommodating for them to do such work, so they potter from doing the physical work. Omar Rav Yehuda, lekariya denara, to dig the river. There is a blockage in the river, and you need to help it flow. Hatoi, the bottom fields, the fields who are lower, the people on the bank of the river further down the flow. Mesayei iloi, they have to help the people upper the river to help them deal with it, because if the water is going to stop at the top, they won't get anything. Eloi, the people on the floor at the top where the water already passed them and only after them it's stuck. Loi misayei tatoi, they don't need to help the people past their field because they don't mind that there's a problem down the stream. The chilufa, and it's opposite b'maya demitra, when it comes to the rainwater that in the city, when you want it not to get stuck in your house. You live in a city and it's on a hill, so if the rainwater is stuck by you, the people at the bottom need to help the top, because they don't want, if it's stuck over there, it's going to cause them issues as well. We're just going to look at Rashi. Sorry, the people on the hill, so the people at the top of the hill, if the water gets stuck past it is A, B, and C. C is the tallest, B is the middle, and A is at the bottom. So C has to help B and A, because if the water doesn't drain from B, it's going to go up to A, and it's going to cause them also issues. So therefore, the top one has to help the bottom one. Not like we said by the river gets stuck by a normal case. We learned in the Brights a similar case. 5 gardens, they're all getting from one stream, they're getting water. And the source of water got ruined. Everyone helps the top one, because if they were not going to help him, the water's not going to come, they're not going to get anything. Nimtzes works out that the one who's at the bottom, helps everyone. If he has the issue, he has to fix it for himself. 5 chatzeros who have the sewage going down to one drain hole, and the drain hole got damaged. Everyone helps the bottom one, because if the sewage is stuck at the bottom, it's also their issue. Nimtzes, it works out, the one at the top, and if he has a problem by itself, he has to fix its problem by himself, because the bottom one doesn't care that it's stuck by the top one, his sewage. Someone who teufes karka at the side of the river, but we don't kick him away. Said the Gemara by Itna, nowadays the Kokatvi Parsoi, that the Parsoim who own the land right, when someone buys a land or takes a land to pay the taxes, Koniloch, it's yours, Ad Mali Tzavorisusi Vimaya, until the depth of the horse into the water, and then the people who buys a field are sitting there to pay the taxes to the king. Actually only fences a distance away from the river because he knows that the side of the river needs to be empty. And then someone else grabs that part that's empty, that really belongs to the person who fenced up. We kick the person who sat there away because it's the other person's field, he's paying taxes for it, and it should be empty. Two brothers or two shutfim have a field, and in between this field someone else, empty field, and he went and he was machzik over there. And we don't kick him away. And we even kick him away. Dinner bar mitzvah means if you have a property and next to it is another property, you have the first right to buy that property if it goes up for sale. No midin this. But it's midin because it's a chutzpah causing damage between the brothers or the shutfim. Now, yeah, you could kick him away because dinner the amretzo mishum shenemar, it's in the pasuk v'asiso hayosher v'atoy b'nei Hashem. You should do what's good and what's straight in the eyes of Hashem. And in the eyes of Hashem, it's not good to sit between two partners, the two brothers. Tzedek, what's the din if also imlech bei? He went and he asked the neighbor, the property sale, the land next to you is for sale. Can I buy it? He told him, I'm going to buy it. Is that okay with you? And the person who's living in the next property says, yeah, go ahead. Do you need to do a kinyan that he gives you a schus to buy it and therefore he can't change his mind? Or maybe you don't need to do a kinyan and the person can't change his mind. Or maybe if you don't do a kinyan, so the person, the bar mitzvah could always change his mind and say, I have a first right, and force you to sell it to him. Ravino, you don't need to do a kinyan, even out a kinyan, that's it, he gave up his rights. And if you didn't do a kinyan, the guy could get it back from you. You need to do a kinyan. Now that you say that you need to be koiner from him, and if you're not koiner from him, the chos he could take away from you, the bar mitzvah. If you didn't do a kinyan, so someone selling this land, someone else bought it, not the bar mitzvah, and the bar mitzvah he never did a kinyan to get his rights. So now the person who bought it, if the field went up in value, it went up in value for the bar mitzvah, he could pay the lower price, and if it went down in value, he has to pay the higher price, because that's if you bought it for the bar mitzvah. Tell him, well, what's the case? If Zoban B'mal, so one who's not bar mitzvah bought it on 100, the Shavi Masan, it's really worth 200, how much does the bar mitzvah now need to pay to kick out this guy who bought it? Tell him, Chazina, we have a look. If you're just desperate for money and you put down the price for everyone, so he'd said also to me, to the bar mitzvah for 100. So that's why the bar mitzvah only has to pay 100. If not, and he sold especially to the third person because for a cheap price for some other reason, he has to give him the full amount, that's the value of it, and only then he could take it. Telling more opposite case. This third party bought it double the price. It's only worth 100. The Bnei Yeshiva thought, the bar mitzvah could tell this person that I sent you to do something good, not to do bad, and you did something bad. He paid double the price. The Breder of Chizder Rav Ashi, this is what the Naradoi said, Mishinder of Nachman in the name of Nachman, if the karka doesn't have a price, if you pay double and you want to redeem it, you need to pay double. What happened? Reuven has all these Bnei Metro around him, and he has a big piece of land, and he sells a piece of land in the middle, like an island in his land of land, to someone else. So Zobenek Yura the Arab meets in the Nechose, in the middle of his Nechose, he sold him a little bit. Chazin, we have a look. If this land that he sold is different to all the land, it's very good land, Iziburi, so very bad land. Zvini makes sense that he sold only that mid part in the middle of all his fields because he wants to get rid of it, or it has a good value. If it's just part like all the other land in your hands, we cancel the sale because we take on the reason why he sold it to this person, because he wants afterwards, when he sells those other land, he could sell it to him. But really the other people have a schus, the people around him. So he's only trying to trick over here to make this person, they should also be a bar mitzvah, and therefore we cancel the sale. Said the Gemara matona. If someone owns a karka and he gave her the matona, obviously there's no din bar mitzvah because you didn't want to give it to a present, you want to give it to that person specifically. So it says, sorry, Omar Meimar, if he wrote in it, Achrayas Isbo, if when he gave the present he wrote Achrayas, that someone takes away this present from him because he has a choiv or something, he'll give him something else, then there is din de bar mitzvah, because why is he writing Achrayas on a present? Obviously he's doing a trick here, really it's a sale, it's not a present. He sold all his possessions to one person, and now one of his possessions is between other people's fields and they want to buy it. So the more less they can't force this person to sell that part. Because with Dina de Aretra, if we're going to make him lose the seller because he can't sell all his properties to one person who wants to buy all at once, it's not fair, it's not Yosher Ba'atoiv, and that's why there's no Dina de Aretra in such a case. The Baim Ailim Arishonim, someone who owned it before and he sold it back to him, less Dina de Aretra, because there's the Indian that the person who owned it in the past should get back to it. Zovan Me'akum, he bought the land from a goy, Zovan La'akum, he sold to a goy, lesbo, mishum dina de baretra. There's no dina de baretra, the Gemara explains why. Zovan Me'akum, if you bought from a goy, do Amarle, he says, what do you mean you'd buy from the goy? No, I saved you, Aryeh v'richuloch v'mitroy, I got a line out of your borders, say thank you that I bought it off him. Zovan La'akum, if he sold it to a goy, so who's a chiyuv of Asisa Yoshevatoi? The one who buys it, to give it to the one who really belongs to buy it, the one next door. But if he doesn't do good, and therefore you don't have no way to get it off him. Who? Shamuse, but the Gemara said to put him in a cherem, the person who sold to a goy, put him in a cherem, until he accepts on himself all the bad things, the ointzim that the goy is going to put on the Jew next door. The osele machmosei that comes because of him. Said the Gemara, mashkanta, if someone took a loan and that was a deposit on the loan, less mishum dina de baretra, and now he didn't pay the loan, so he goes to the one who the malva who lent the money could have his field and he doesn't have to give it first to the neighbors. Domar Rashi, Omri Saba de Masamachse, my mashkanta, what's the lotion of mashkanta, of a guarantee that you put on a loan of a land? The shchuna gabeda, it's like your neighbor. My nafkimina, what the nafkimina that's like your neighbor? Ledina the bar mitzvah, that he's the bar mitzvah, there's no one else who's bar mitzvah. The malva is the bar mitzvah, even there that he never had land there before. Limchoy barochoik, if the seller's trying to sell something that's far away from his house, legal bakorov, and to buy something close to him, bara, to sell a bad field, or legal bayof, and to buy a good field that came onto market, less mishum dina the bar mitzvah, there's no dina the bar mitzvah, because he needs the money right now. If you're going to have to sell it specifically to the neighbors, it'll take much longer. The karga, if he needs the money for taxes and umzoine, for feeding his wife and kids, or to bury his krovim, or whoever he can sell it to first, he sells it to. Damri Nardori said, the karga for taxes and umzoine, to pay, to support your wife and kids, and to bury someone, you sell without making an auction before, and also normally money of yisoimim you never sell without an auction, without announcing about it, but because it's for these important things, you don't need to announce about it. Leisho, leatmi, if he sold the field to a woman or to Yisoimu, l'shutfi, or to someone who was a shutuf with you in half the field before, less than mishum dina de baretra. So a woman, because it's hard for her to buy land, and if she bought this land, we don't expect her to sell it and buy other land, because she's not a businesswoman. Or leatmi, because we take care of them extra, and if they bought land, they bought the land. And l'shutfi, because he was like a bar mitzvah. He was a shutuf until now. Shchene, Shchene Sode. Now, Rashi explains over here, this is a bit of a different case. He has neighbors in town and neighbors in the field, and he has a different field that's not next to the ones in town and not next to the one in the field. And they both want to buy. Who should he sell it to? So the Gemara, he should sell it first to his neighbors from town who want to buy it. Shochem, the Talmud Chacham, he has a neighbor and he has a Talmud Chacham who wants to buy this land, and no bar metzra or Talmud Chacham koidim, he goes first. Korav Talmud Chacham, a relation and a Talmud Chacham. Talmud Chacham koidim, you sell it first to a Talmud Chacham. Said the Gemara, boilu, what did in Shochem with Korav? You have your neighbor wants to buy it, and a relation of yours wants to buy it, but your relation is not your neighbor. So the Gemara, Toshma, come and listen. Toiv Shochem Roch Korav, it's better a close neighbor, Meach Rochik, from a brother who's far. So better have good relationships with your neighbor when your relation is far away. So sell it to your neighbor. So the Gemara, Anizuzi Tavi, Anizuzi Takuli, if one of them has good money, let's say the buyer who's not a neighbor has good cash over la soichev, Anizuzi Takuli not as good, less Mishum Din Maretzer, because he prefers a good cash. Anitzari Vanishori, the one who is a bar metzra, sent him money in a bundle, Vanishori, and the one who wants to buy it gave it to him open. Less Mishum Din Maretzer, because he says, I don't want to take the closed money because I don't know, I'll open it, and then he's going to say, oh, there was so much money in it, he stole something, I prefer not to deal with it. But the open money, no one could blame me anything, so I'm accepting that. Omar Ezel Va'atrach, if the bar metzra said, I'm going to go and I'm going to work hard, I'm going to come to buy it off you because you're selling and I have the right. Don't wait for him. If he said, I'm going to go get my money that I have already. Chazina, we have a look. That makes sense that he has the money. We wait. If we could estimate that he has such a sum of money, we wait for him. If not, you don't wait. So the more someone has a piece of land and on it there's a house that belongs to someone else. Mori Ara, the owner of the land, Ma'akiv, Amori Boti, could say if the house owner is selling it, the one who owned the land could force him to sell it to him. Mori Boti, the owner of the land, Ma'akiv, Amori Dara, the Mori Dara could sell to whoever he wants, because the one who had the hand, it's not, a house is not considered like a bar metzra, it doesn't own land. Ara Dechad V'dikli Dechad, there is a land that belongs to one person and palm trees belong to someone else. Mori Dara, the landowner, Moti Ma'akiv, Amoradikli, he could stop the palm tree person selling it to a third person, he could force him to sell it to him. Moradikli, the owner of the palm trees, who wants to stop the owner of the land selling it to someone else, Loi Moti Ma'akiv, he can't stop him, Amoradari, the landlord. Arli Boti, the Arli Zara, someone wants to buy the land to build houses and one wants to plant. So the Gemara Yishuvod, if it's better to sell it for a house. And there's no din of the in such a case. And even if the person who wants to buy for the house is not a neighbor, he has a first right. There's no din of the in that case. Afsik Mishunusa, there is a separation between his field and the bar metra's field. A type of separation is like a rock or something. Oirich, but the diklo or row of palm trees. Chazina, we have a look. If he could pass the machresha from that field to this field, even though that there's rock there or there's palm tree lines, and he could get past and he could plow the field from his field to the other field. He's considered a neighbor, because he anyway doesn't have good access for planting. Telling more, there's one person in the middle and he has 4 fields on the side and they all belong to different people. And he bought the whole field from the person who's selling in the middle. The sale is good because even though there's 14 bar measures, you could sell it to one of them. If they come all up at one moment to buy it, and the guy says, who should I sell it to? So the Gemara, we should split it up like triangles, like 4 triangles are making into a square. And Rashi has a very simple picture to explain how they split up their partnership. No, partnership. Each one gets a quarter of the land of the seller if they all want to buy it at once. And if he 3 wants to buy it, they split it up to 3. Everyone should have a very blessed week.